First question, dive right in. Would you do it again?
Honestly, I would have to put a lot of thought into it.
It is Anthony's first day. He is running from Lincoln, Nebraska into Des Moines, Iowa. He is planning on doing somewhere between 28 to 30 miles every day. He is cruising along at his usual 9:30 pace, which is going really great. Other than some Achilles pain, which he did come in with. I know that he's nervous about that because of seeing some other runners with trouble in their segment. We will just kind of make sure that we stay on top of that and ice it and do what we can at this point. Otherwise, he's gonna run 191 miles this week.
Hey, I played competitive sports, for most of my life. I haven't really competed anything in, for years now. Passage from the book about beginnings. I felt that I kind of kept that in the back of my mind, especially when I woke up. And the gist of it is that, when you start a journey, whether it's 100 yards or 1,000 miles, the beginning's always the same. You just have to move forward. And so I kind of tried to keep that in the back of my mind, throughout the entire week. I think the biggest thing was just that adversity was kind of inevitable at this point, and so whatever you thought was going to happen probably wasn't going to happen. And there were other things that were going to kind of come up along the way. I came in with an Achilles that was hurting, and that has been the least of my concerns since I've been here. Since then, I've been dealing with a toe injury, a foot injury, a knee injury, and all on the opposite leg, so it wasn't even the same leg. So I think just the biggest lesson was that you have to fight through discomfort and pain, and adversity is inevitable.
We just got a text from Anthony that his knee is getting worse and it's hard for him to run farther than 50 yards at a time. So he is okay walking, and he does want to keep walking. So we'll meet him at his next checkpoint and crew him from there. So we just did like a quick turn stop with Anthony and Chris, and he is having more knee pain than normal for him. It probably really truly is just like overuse at this point. We did some stretches to open up through like the glute and IT and quad, so that just like the leg can have a little bit more mobility and openness to it. We're gonna stop at a Walgreens and grab some kidneys tape, and then we're just gonna take some ibuprofen in order to reduce swelling, but also just take his mind off of it.
I thought my big concern was going to be like my ankles and my calves, but it turned out to be my quads. And so I just had never been more sore in my entire life. So it was a rough start from the get-go. And kind of just as the day went on, it got hotter and hotter, and I got in more and more pain. And this was before I figured out to cut out the toe box in my shoe, because my feet were swelling so much that I hadn't really trained in that kind of heat for that long at a time. No, there were definite points where I wanted to quit, where I just felt that it wasn't sustainable to go on. Not only would I feel that I would be letting myself down, I'd be letting the cause down as well. And I was able to lean on a couple friends to just reach out to them and just kind of have them reinforce that point and let me hear it from someone else, because when it's just you in your own head and you're out on the road completely alone, it's it is kind of one of those things where it's like, no one would know if I weren't to actually do it, but you can't lie to yourself.
All right, it's Anthony's last day, and he has 24 miles left of his segment into Des Moines. He was a little bit tentative coming into the day, just like with the rest of this week being really hot, being rainy, having some like knee injuries kind of go on, having just like the whole right leg really just in a lot of like pain, dealing with some swelling in his foot and blisters. I think that he was a little bit like, I don't think that I can handle all the miles today. We will see how he does, because I do think that the adrenaline of just the last day is taking over, and also just the gravity of the cause. I think that he's received a lot of nice messages from people he knows and people he doesn't know, and I think that he's finding a lot of motivation there.
I mean, my biggest motivation was my friend John Franco. Luckily on day 6 he was able to join me, but he was the one that he ran this event in 2019, and I just kind of saw what he was able to do and accomplish, and I was just in awe of the strength and the perseverance that he went through to accomplish all that. I was telling Ashley that when I saw that I had the 4th longest segment, I'm like, I'm probably not the guy for that. Like, you should probably find a more experienced runner to be able to handle that. But when I saw the dates, that the last day was on my dad's birthday, and it'll be 14 years this year since he passed. I just took it as an omen to, this is something that I'm meant to do. I don't know that I would be able to take a diagnosis like MS in stride like everyone else has, and people that have run this event previously and are running it this year and will continue to run it. I'm just in awe, honestly. It's a huge inspiration, and they just need to keep doing it and keep talking about it, because hopefully we're on our way to making a difference. Yeah, deciding to actually do it, I kind of just saw it as this is a once-in-a-lifetime challenge and experience that most people will never even come across. This is by far the most physically and mentally challenging thing that I've ever done in my life, or think about doing. And so just the being able to look back and tell the story, I think will be a cool experience years from now. I'm Anthony. Join me in my mission to end MS. You can find more information at msruntheus.org or follow us on Instagram at msruntheus.